Welcome to Old Coin Treasure. Today, we're exploring two classic United States Lincoln Week cents, the 1941 1 cent and the 1942 1 cent. These historic pennies were minted just before America entered World War II and remain popular with collectors because of their beautiful wheat ear design, rich history, and valuable mint mark and era varieties. Stay with us as we uncover their history, key features, rarity, collector value, and the hidden details that could make these coins worth far more than 1 cent. If you love rare coins and want to learn how to identify valuable pennies, you're in the right place. Let's get started. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat 1 cent is one of the most famous and widely collected coins in American history. Although it was created as an everyday circulation coin, it has become a favorite among collectors because of its classic design, historical importance, and connection to a period just before the United States entered World War II. At first glance, the 1941 penny may seem ordinary, but many collectors know that certain examples in exceptional condition or with rare mint errors can be worth far more than 1 cent. More than 80 years after it was struck, this coin continues to capture the interest of coin enthusiasts around the world. The Lincoln Week cent was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose portrait of President Abraham Lincoln first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The 1941 cent is made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the traditional bronze alloy used for Lincoln cents before the wartime steel cents of 1943. The coin weighs 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a smooth, plain edge. Its rich reddish-brown color and durable bronze composition have made it one of the most recognizable coins in American history. The obverse, or front side, features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in United States history. Around the portrait are the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1941. If the coin was struck in Denver or San Francisco, the mint mark appears below the date. Brenner's portrait of Lincoln was the first image of a real person ever placed on a regularly circulating United States coin, making it a historic milestone in American coin design. The reverse displays two elegant wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above these inscriptions appears the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. The wheat ears symbolize America's rich agricultural heritage, growth, and prosperity. This reverse design gave the coin its popular nickname, the wheat penny. The simple yet meaningful artwork remained in use until 1958, making it one of the longest-running reverse designs in United States coinage. The 1941 Lincoln Week cent was produced in very large numbers. The Philadelphia Mint struck more than 887 million coins, the Denver Mint produced over 128 million, and the San Francisco Mint manufactured more than 92 million pieces. Because of these high mintages, circulated examples are still fairly common today. However, coins with bright original red surfaces, outstanding mint state grades, or exceptional eye appeal are much scarcer and can be worth significantly more than ordinary circulated pieces. Collectors also search for rare varieties and mint errors from 1941. Double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planches, repunched mint marks, die cracks, and struck-through errors are among the most desirable discoveries. Another important feature collectors examine is the coin's original color. Coins are often classified as brown, BN, red-brown, RB, or red, road. Brilliant red examples that have retained their original mint color for decades are much rarer and often bring much higher prices than darker circulated coins. One interesting fact about the 1941 Lincoln Week cent is that it was one of the last bronze cents produced before World War II dramatically changed American coin production. Just 2 years later, in 1943, the United States Mint switched to zinc-coated steel cents to conserve copper for the war effort. Because of this connection to an important period in American history, the 1941 wheat penny has become an essential coin for anyone building a complete Lincoln cent collection. Coin collectors and roll hunters continue searching through old jars, family collections, and estate sales hoping to discover an exceptionally preserved or rare era example. In conclusion, the 1941 Lincoln Wheat 1 cent is much more than a simple penny. It honors the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, represents a significant era in American history, and remains one of the most beloved coins among collectors. While many circulated examples are worth only a small premium over face value, high-grade mint state coins, brilliant red specimens, and authenticated mint errors can be worth considerably more. Before you overlook an old penny, take a close look at the date, mint mark, color, and overall condition. You might already have a hidden treasure waiting in your collection. Keep checking your coins, because the next valuable discovery could be just 1 penny away. The 1942 Lincoln Wheat 1 cent is one of the most fascinating coins in the history of the United States. Although it was made as an everyday penny, it carries the story of a nation during one of the most important periods of the 20th century. As World War II affected countries around the globe, the United States continued producing pennies for daily commerce while preparing for major changes in coin production. Today, the 1942 Lincoln Wheat cent is admired by collectors because of its historical importance, classic design, rare mint errors, and the possibility of finding valuable high-grade examples. It reminds us that even the smallest coin can tell a remarkable story. The coin was issued in 1942 by the United States of America with a face value of 1 cent. It was struck at 3 United States Mint facilities. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint have no mint mark, coins from the Denver Mint carry the D mint mark, and coins from the San Francisco Mint display the S mint mark. During 1942, the United States had entered World War II, and the demand for metals was increasing rapidly. Even so, billions of pennies were needed to support everyday business, making the Lincoln Wheat cent one of the nation's most important circulating coins during this historic period. The Lincoln Wheat cent was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose portrait of President Abraham Lincoln first appeared on the cent in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The 1942 cent was struck using the traditional bronze alloy made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It weighs 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a smooth, plain edge. This would be one of the last years the coin used this classic bronze composition before the famous zinc-coated steel cents were introduced in 1943 to help conserve copper for the war effort. The obverse, or front side, features the right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, one of America's most respected presidents. Around the portrait are the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1942. On Denver and San Francisco coins, the mint mark appears below the date. Brenner's portrait became the first image of a real historical person to appear on a regularly circulating United States coin. The design honors Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War and his lasting influence on the nation. The reverse displays 2 graceful wheat ears surrounding the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Above these words appears the national motto E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. The wheat ears symbolize America's agricultural strength, growth, and prosperity. Because of this reverse design, the coin is commonly known as the Lincoln Wheat penny or wheat cent. The design remained in use until 1958 and continues to be one of the most beloved coin designs in American history. The 1942 Lincoln Wheat cent was produced in very large numbers. The Philadelphia Mint struck more than 657 million coins, the Denver Mint produced over 206 million, and the San Francisco Mint manufactured more than 85 million pieces. Because of these large mintages, circulated examples are still relatively common today. However, coins with original mint luster, sharp details, and little or no wear are much scarcer. Collectors especially value coins graded in high mint state condition because finding beautifully preserved examples after more than 80 years is becoming increasingly difficult. Collectors also search for rare varieties and mint errors from 1942. Double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planches, die cracks, repunched mint marks, and struck-through errors are among the most desirable discoveries. Another important feature is the coin's original color. Professional grading services classify these coins as brown, BN, red-brown, RB, or red, road. Brilliant red examples that have retained their original mint color are much rarer and often sell for significantly higher prices than darker circulated coins. These special qualities make the 1942 cent an exciting coin for collectors of all experience levels. One interesting fact about the 1942 Lincoln Wheat cent is that it represents the final full year before the dramatic switch to the famous 1943 steel cent. As copper became essential for wartime equipment, the United States Mint changed the cent's composition the following year to help conserve metal for military needs. Because of this historical connection, many collectors enjoy owning both the 1942 bronze cent and the 1943 steel cent together to illustrate this important chapter in American history. Coin roll hunters and collectors continue searching through old collections, estate sales, and family coin jars hoping to discover an exceptional example or a valuable mint error. In conclusion, the 1942 Lincoln Wheat 1 cent is much more than an ordinary penny. It represents an important moment in American history, honors the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, and preserves the beauty of the classic wheat cent design. While many circulated examples are worth only a modest premium above face value, high-grade mint state coins, brilliant red specimens, and authenticated mint errors can be worth much more. Before you overlook an old penny, examine its date, mint mark, color, and overall condition carefully. You may already have a hidden treasure waiting in your collection. Keep checking your coins, because your next valuable discovery could be just 1 cent away. Thank you for watching Old Coin Treasure. If you enjoyed learning about the 1941 and 1942 United States 1 cent coins, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest rare coin discoveries. Share this video with fellow coin collectors, and let us know in the comments which Lincoln Wheat cent you'd like us to feature next. See you in the next treasure hunt.